Rick didn't want the world to miss out on sunshine in Wayne's World. Good morning, Eastern Sunrise.
Good morning. Please join with me and honor our country with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll offer prayer this morning. Kind Father in heaven, we thank you for thy care and keeping through the night and for this day. Lord, help us to use this day and every day of our lives to see that thy will be done, and help us to live our Rotary motto of service above self. In the Son's name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Welcome to everybody. Go ahead. You start.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Rotarians.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, first item, we have a guest. And Ryan, would you be kind enough to introduce your guest?
This is Ron Downs. He is my father-in-law, so I'm trying to.
Now, why are you laughing?
Stop.
He's my favorite son-in-law.
Okay.
I don't have much competition. But Ron worked in the furniture industry for many, many years as a financial officer, and then he had his own consulting business after he retired.
Okay, great.
And he's been a Rotarian before.
Good. Glad to have you this
We
morning.
need to point out one thing. If you are familiar with the Chess Federation, once you're a registered chess player, you have a number. Same thing goes with Rotary. Your number still exists. If you want to refill it, we'd be glad to activate it for you.
All right, good deal. Well, we're glad to have you as a guest. We certainly are. Okay, several items. Would you want to mention about Lee? I think everyone knows, but let's just bring it back up.
Again, Lee passed away on Monday morning, and services, well, receiving will be at the funeral home Thursday night from 10 to 11.
6 to 8.
I'm looking at my Friday morning times. Receiving Friday morning is 10 to 11, and then service 11 to 12, memorial service.
At Chrysler.
At Chrysler, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Well, good morning. How are you? Good. Look, come in here. Yes, sir. We don't see everything. Yes, he is already
We
fixed.
got to get a person his due.
I don't want them to have to walk so far.
Great there, young man.
Hey, Donald. Hey, how you doing?
Well, Donald, we're glad to see you this morning.
I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I know you are. We're glad to have you. We certainly are. Okay, several items I must cover. All right, Jake's Food.
Jake's Food.
All right, food. If you haven't made, please do so. Glenn has an announcement this morning. Yes. You know, Rotarians, we have a moment that anybody can say anything. It costs you $1, but there's an announcement in your family.
My family.
Yes, sir.
You know, kids, wife. Oh, yeah, I do have that, yes. I do have, am I talking about me? I don't know.
No? Now think about what has happened in your family.
Which one?
I saw a picture of a Roseman in the newspaper.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, your
My
son.
Yes, graduated, yes, from University Christian High School, yes.
Great, congratulations. Okay, anyone
Last
else?
Friday, last Friday.
Yes, that was a nice picture. He looks a little bit like your wife. All right, Regina.
My daughter is graduating this Friday from Alexander Central.
Oh, great, congratulations. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Now,
Good, nice to meet you.
a couple little items this morning I must handle. Rick.
Wayne.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
But, all right, Joe left early last week, and he didn't pay $1 fine. And you are his sponsor, so I just wanted to let you know that I need $1.
I got that for him.
Yes, sir.
I got that for him.
No, he's covered, you already covered.
We got
I got that for you because
Oh, good grief. I'll give you a
I
change
got
on
that
that.
for you.
Joe and Rick, thank you.
All right. Here is one. Regina, you're not aware of the story. Ryan, you may, but I'm going to tell it, if you don't mind, a couple things. I called Richard Tucker this morning. He is not here. He is at the beach. I got him up and concerned about why he was not at Rotary. Well, he's at the beach. He didn't take Jake with him, but he's there. I told him he would be assessed a fine this morning. Now, the reason I'm saying this, last week I mentioned, and it's been difficult, stressful in my life, but I started it by going to Steiger's house in the morning, and I just hit the horn twice to let him know rotary is taking place. Okay, here this morning, well, this week, he even stopped me out in front of the house on the street driving, blocked traffic, telling me, I saw you, I heard you, all of this. Well, it's been 2 years ago. He and Richard rented a fire truck and drove into my driveway and started letting the siren go loud and loud. People were pulling over, and there they were sitting in the driveway. And I didn't hear him, I was in the house. And he kept going over and over. And then come knock on the door, and I looked out, it was awful. So that came back and haunted me. Now, okay, Steiger's going in front of my house. He starts up the street, blowing the horn, never stopping, going down. People are asking me this. Now, Richard Tucker is coming by my house, blowing the horn. Folks, it's getting tough, I'll tell you.
I paid my dollar, enough's enough.
No, that's Richard Tucker. You influenced Richard Tucker. I need another $1. Richard is doing the same blessed thing.
There I go.
And Richard is going to pay it when he comes.
I'm going to get the award again, aren't I? Yeah.
All right, two things quickly. All right, Ryan, excuse me, you have a guest this morning, but I know I have to ask you a question. Okay, we get a newsletter that comes out. You see this, dealing with our club, the district, and all this. I need to ask you a question, not to embarrass you with your father-in-law. Okay, very simple, all right? Hickory Sunshine Road, how many members do we have? And if you looked over that, you probably can tell us. You have any? 40, okay. Is that right?
No.
Okay, I need $1. Now, wait a minute.
Excuse me, we are not Hickory Sunshine.
I know, I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. I wanted to make sure my hearing aids were.
I'll pay it, okay.
Maybe that club has 40, right?
Now,
Ryan, maybe that club has 40.
here's the other one. All right, we do have someone in the club that reads the bulletin, the Rotarian magazine, cover to cover, but I don't know if he checks this. I'm going to ask him. All right. Gavin.
Hello there.
Oh, hello? All right,
Call you Glenn first.
tell me, in 76-7, that's our district, as of May, how many Rotarians do we have?
I don't know if it's in the, if I saw it in the bulletin or whether this is the last time I counted them. But 2,290.
That is correct. That's amazing. All right, we do have 2,290. All right, last year, how many were there last year?
Well, I've got a rough idea because I think I was a day late counting them last year, so there's a possibility that, one might have joined or left or whatever, but it was 2,181.
Isn't it amazing?
It's amazing numbers.
Congratulations. I am appalled. I just can't believe someone can recall like that. It's amazing. Congratulations.
And he gets that from the mysterious beings.
That's right.
All right. Rick, I'll pay the fine.
The original question you had, though,
Yes, sir.
for Ryan, was how many in Hickory Sunrise?
26.
I was just going to say 26.
Yeah, 26 is correct. We've gained 2 members. And Reinhardt, the 2 members that we've gained are, sure it is, it's reported.
Regina and the last one should.
No, is Regina included in this? Okay,
She should.
okay, in May. All right, but we're showing growth too. Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
And for what it's worth, in case anybody's interested, of all the districts in the country, 76, 70, you normally lose 3 to 10% no matter what every year.
Right.
And the goal was to get 7% growth this year. We're going to hit 8%.
Okay, as of May, we have 5%.
Yeah, we're going to hit the top of the pile before we're done.
Okay, all right, good deal. We'll pass this over to the head table so that you can check any of those numbers. Gavin, thank you. Congratulations.
Anytime.
Yes. All right, I'll pay it by fine.
I'm watching.
You
Sounds
are.
like a fine idea.
Where's the 10?
He bought the $2
I
bills.
bought the twos.
You got that? It's like, this is all funds, right?
All fun.
All right, we'll cover it.
Thank you, Wayne.
Yes, thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Before we finish that, I'd like to say, I want to thank Hickory Sunrise Rotary for carrying on and for a donation you made to the Hicks Household of Faith while I was out with my back surgery. I am recovering. I thank various members who just stepped in for your 1 1/4 term. I didn't want you to be worn out before you started, you know. So I'll be here the next few weeks. And Reinhardt just, Reinhardt, he just goes around doing them himself. I hope they came out right. I want to thank you guys for all that you've done. I appreciate you so much. Welcome, Miss Regina, I understand. We've been looking forward to having you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Everyone, hold that thing up. Yes, sir. Does everybody get the newsletter online? It comes from Margaret Gormley. It's in District 7670. If you're not getting it, let Rhino know, because this is on her newsletter each month. There's the last page of the newsletter, and we can sort of keep track of what's going on. And if you're not getting that, Rhino needs to know so we can get you on whatever list we need to have.
If you're not getting it, I'm in trouble because the addresses for PM mail come out of our DAC-DB records, and everybody's in there, complete with pictures for most everybody. So if you're not getting it, let me know, because it's a malfunction in the system if you're not getting it.
Do we have the capabilities, Phil, this may be a Phil question. We brought a computer in here to put DAC-DB up on the screen.
Could be. I think we have a guest Wi-Fi available here in LR. Let me take a look.
We do.
Okay.
If at all possible, we can do that next week. Next week's scheduled club assembly, and I want to talk about a few things next week with the president's permission. And also want us to have pictures taken starting next week. We'll send a reminder out for those who have these kinds of Rotary shirts or any kind of Rotary shirt. If you have something that says Rotary on it, wear it. If not, don't worry about it. But we'd like to have a new directory. This is the 2017 directory, and I'd like to have actually 15, 16, 16, 17. Those cover 2 years. I want a new one updated for 1920, and we just need to get pictures from folks. And who would be taking the pictures? Would that be
I mean,
you?
I don't mind. Was it not Steve that usually took them? But I have no problem.
I thought Steve is on vacation someplace.
He wants to take them because
Steve wants to?
Because he wants to be able to publish them through his office capacity.
All right, in that case,
But we should have 2 sets.
and that's fine.
Well, would it make sense, since usually there's somebody missing, maybe to do it over 2 meetings?
Yeah,
I mean,
and I don't know when Steve's going to be back. We might wait till the our first actual meeting in July is a club assembly, and that might be a good time to plan ahead for that.
I know we're, with the exception of Regina and one or two others, we're pretty ancient here, but does anybody actually look at a hard copy of directory anymore? I mean, does it make sense to print it? I know we've got a printer in-house.
There are several that pull them out of their desks, Steve being one. I know that's why many times.
This was the most recent thing, and this will suffice. But I think every member should have an updated roster.
Yeah.
That is more than just what appears on the weekly bulletin when we have those.
Yeah, this is it's a feature of DAC-DB. There is an in the back of DAC-TV a whole list of 600 things you can do. Printing a club roster with pictures is one of the things we can do.
And some of these pictures are on DAC-DB on our page.
All of them are.
So an updated version that includes all new people
Yeah.
and whoever's on here.
If we do a DAC-DB demo, we can look when we first bring up my club, and you'll see who has pictures and who doesn't, and we'll update it that way. We'll know who to get
So the
pictures from.
LR guest Wi-Fi does work fine. I just
Okay.
checked it with the phone.
But will that interface with that camera projector?
Yeah, well, I'll bring a laptop
Yeah, that'd be good. That
and,
should work.
and plug into the projector
As long as you got Wi-Fi, you should be okay.
and Wi-Fi from.
Okay.
You can always.
Yeah,
set up a hotspot.
and I may have to table dance again.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
always that possibility.
That was where the question in my mind was, can we interface? If not, I can always bring a projector too, I've got one.
So do we want to do that next meeting?
Yes,
At least do the DAC-DB part, the
Yes.
demo, not necessarily the pictures, right?
right, yeah. We'll do the DAC-DB part. We'll continue talking about the pictures, because I want Steve and Michael and everybody to be able to hear what's going on. And there is a slight difference between the two. It includes spouses and date of birth and stuff like that. Well, so this one includes birthdays, it just doesn't include spouses.
I am cheap, and I was trying to save coloring on my printer, that's why that doesn't have.
So you printed this out?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
But anyway, an updated something for our group for the coming years, what I'd like to see. In our mailbox, we got thank yous from the Walk With Me,
Oh, yeah.
Healing with Horses that we attended. Thank you for your donation to our fundraiser. We look forward to your continued support. And I'm trying to get our veterans group just to go out there too.
That particular website, she's also using some of our text and some of our pictures. So your participation with them has helped them grow their business.
From Discovery Church, thank you so much for your support of our Joy Prom. Your gift of $300 will help us provide an evening of a lifetime for individuals with special needs in our community. It goes on. It's a true blessing, and they thank us for that. From Camp Corral, this month, last year, you became a part of a larger movement that is strengthening our military families one child at a time. Your gift to Camp Corral helped over 3,700 children of our nation's wounded, injured, ill, and fallen service members attend camp. And they're thanking us for our gift. And I know that the local DAV for the month of June, has people at Camp Corral seeking donations for this very event. It affords children of military folks an opportunity to have a summer camp. Hickory Public Schools thanks us for the $500 that we gave to the Hickory High JROTC program. Okay. Let's talk fundraisers for a little bit. All right. I passed out, then I woke up. Last week I gave out ideas. Regina, I think you weren't. You weren't okay. That's right. I want to talk for a second. Well, let me ask you this. On the list, does anything jump out at you, number one, that you absolutely don't want to do, make sure we never even think about doing ever again?
Oranges,
Roses, oranges,
Okay.
auto show.
poppies,
All right.
car shows. Other than that,
Rick, can I get a copy of that?
Outdoor movies, that will have.
Here, next copy.
Anybody, I have one other topic. Anyone about?
No, I've got one. I just want to interject something. I had a brief meeting with Warren Wood, our city manager, and Susan and I travel quite a bit in the summertime to the local communities, Lincolnton, Mount Holly, and everybody seems to have a nice summer music venue going. Mount Holly being a very small town, but a big presence as far as bands and music. And I just simply wanted to know from Warren why Hickory does not do this. Because you look around and you know 10 people from here and 10 people from there, and they're actually leaving town and taking their money with them because, you know, when we go, we'll have a dinner out, we'll just spend maybe $20 in their town and enjoy the festivities. And he said, well, what's your thoughts? And I said, well, hold that thought. And I was going to bring it up before the club. You know I can't stay away from the music long, even though you kicked me off the music committee. So I thought maybe we are.
Who kicked you off the music?
You did. I'm not taking it personal. I'm not even going to mention it.
I do no such thing.
So, you know, talking with Johnny B. Johnny B is running the music series. Johnny B would love to come to Hickory and do next year's music. And it's real simple. We get $20,000 worth of sponsors. They'll show us how to do that. And we invite 6 or 8 bands. Johnny B does all the work. We can do the wine sales and the beer sales. I couldn't believe it. Last week, Austin had a fundraiser. Did anybody go?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
They were serving bourbon on the streets in Hickory. Are you kidding me? That's a new one. Bourbon?
I didn't hear about that one.
But you've got to get insurance.
It's not a problem. The city's got insurance. We just
Not if we're serving.
need to use it. Well, yeah, we can get host insurance.
Okay, you gotta remember, Glenn's got it, I've got it.
Yeah.
We've got directives from RI about insurance coverage when we have events that have liability.
Well, my point is, Johnny B says it's very profitable.
I imagine it would be, because, are you talking maybe on the square?
Under the sales.
Yeah.
Next year it'll be
Have
finished.
you been to the one in North Wilkesboro?
I've been to them all.
Okay.
Yes. Have you been to North Wilkesboro?
Yeah.
What a crowd.
They use that parking deck and
Yeah.
everything there, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's, you never think of North Wilkesboro being out there doing things. I used to live there, so I know
Yeah.
how it can be.
In fact, that's sponsored by Window World.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the idea of something out, and they have another venue, Wilkesboro has a venue also now. Down there.
Okay, but what is the product? Is it a band jam, or what is the product?
It's a Friday night jam.
There could be lots of,
You invite your food trucks, you get your money off your food trucks,
Okay.
get your money off your vendors, let's just say $50 to set up per vendor. And you get the sales off the beer, and you get the sales off the wine.
Who puts up the storm fence to control who's in and who's
You know
out?
what? That's a point, and Warren and I talked about that. You go to other towns, there is no storm fence.
Well, how do you control
Everybody's
who
in-
paid?
They don't. There was one police officer with 2,000 people in Mount Holly last Friday night. Everybody behaved themselves. It was amazing. We didn't need the SWAT team.
His question was, how do you pay? How do you get in? And
Tickets. You buy a ticket, you get a beer. You buy a ticket, you get a wine.
Oh, okay.
the concert's free?
To the public.
Okay, got it.
Sponsors have paid for it.
Got you.
Top Valley Medical Center, Fry Regional, I mean, it just gets people out.
Do they-
He says it's not hard at all to raise 20 grand.
Do they still do Hickory Alive, or they stopped that?
They did because of the crowd that it brought out. Warren was real quick to tell me that it brought out.
The wrong crowd?
Rowdy crowd.
If we do, let's just say we do the beach music series, it's gonna bring out the 45 plus group. But it's gonna bring other people as well.
Tell me
What
what
is the
Hickory
net
Live
profit?
brought out the wrong crowd. Was it the kind of music?
It was, and the atmosphere, and it was just, yeah.
Where would you hold it? We're running out of space to hold it. The thing Austin did was between Regina's building and the Moose Hall.
Correct.
That was pretty crowded.
Was it when I came to set up and then I left? Was it crowded?
I believe it.
Well, don't forget.
Because
next year
you gotta
downtown
park
Hickory
and
will
walk
finish.
too.
Yeah, that was my next question. That's going to be done by, that would be nice to be one of the first.
I mean, if Capital Bank changed off
We'll
their
take
parking
over
lot,
the
there
whole
go
summer.
25 spots.
Remember what was the club that used to, the JC's?
Yeah.
Used to do this. they got pissed off with the city and went to Conover. Look at Conover Live now.
Yeah.
Are you talking about doing it every week then?
It's Mount Holly does every week for 8 weeks, but maybe we do every other week to start and see how it works. It's a thought. I'm gonna talk some more with Warren.
Yeah. Is anybody diametrically opposed to such an idea? If you would continue that conversation,
In addition to money though, we also need to look at what kind of time commitment are we into then?
Well, Johnny B runs it.
First, no, but I mean, he doesn't clean the trash barrels and he doesn't sweep the walks and Rotarians are gonna have to do that. We need to know what our obligation's gonna be in terms of
Hopefully I get the
manpower.
city to buy into this, because
Person
all our
power.
downtown shops will prosper from this.
one thing you could ask Warren is, along that particular line, what would he expect our club to do?
Okay.
And that way we'll have an idea. We don't mind working. The idea of a circuit, as part of a service project, helping clean up the
Yeah,
area.
it's a pretty big undertaking for a small club, so that's why I'm a little hesitant in moving forward without talking with the club first, because
Yes.
you're talking every other week for 8 or 10 weeks. You know, maybe we can
With
split
the
the
new
club up.
director he just hired, you may have to coordinate with another Rotary club too.
Say
Well,
that again?
I don't want to do that.
Say that
Have the money.
He just hired, my mind's gone,
Mark Seaman.
Mark away from crawdads to become his public, let's get better, let's grow, let's do good things person for the city convention, something.
They did away with the Park and Recreation Department after Matt McLeod retired, and so this is in its place kind of thing.
Thank God.
And
But
Mark-
Mark's an avid Rotarian for his own club
and
too.
they promoted Skip Moser, who keeps talking about he's going to join our club. That we'll see.
He's an honorary member.
We need money. All right,
All right,
so
well,
we'll continue that discussion, because it has possibilities. Because I did attend one of North Wilkesboro, since I used to live there, some friends invited me, and people had a great time. They just had a ball out there dancing and listening to music.
What kind of venue do they have it in? The big mall parking lot there?
Yeah, outside. There's a parking deck in North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
yes.
And there's two towns, Wilkesboro and North Wilkesboro, separated by a river, and a big open parking area.
Yeah.
And they use that for the venue.
Are you talking about the Apple Festival?
Sir?
Are you talking about the Apple Festival that they have there?
That's a biggie. But that's not what I'm talking about, but the Apple Festival, we don't want to get into that. The Brushy Mountain Ruritan Club in Wilkes County does the Apple Festival. There may be 12 members, something. They've been doing it for years and gone.
I bet they have.
Have you ever been to the Apple Festival?
Yeah, it's huge.
That's something you need to go. It's just a one-day event, first Saturday in October. It's pretty neat.
But it's thousands of people that come
Oh,
there.
thousands.
They also have their Chamber of Commerce for Apple businesses there. All those guys are active and pushers and shovers.
What do y'all think about a lacrosse tournament?
A what?
Lacrosse.
I don't think I'd be any good at it.
I don't, my personal.
But I do want to see Rhino play.
Phil and I were talking, I think it's a great idea, but the size of our club, it is a major undertaking to pull it off. I know the Rotary Club with the soccer, they have phased that out, and it got to the point that everybody was burned out with it. And I think it's a great idea, but I question if our club could pull it off with a number of members and the commitment that it takes a big commitment. But it's a great idea.
I don't even know the extent of the commitment, but I will tell you, I've already reached out to the soccer coach here, lacrosse coach here, and just to talk. My email to him said it's never been done in this area, but lacrosse is a growing sport in this area. And I want to get his thoughts.
We can also look at that as an opportunity to engage the JROTC from Hickory High the Interact and Rotaract clubs to start to build some youth interface with us, we can utilize them as part of the work team.
The lacrosse would be different from soccer, wouldn't it? Because I could be wrong here, but I'd imagine most of the lacrosse teams are affiliated with some kind of educational
Some
thing,
school, yeah.
some kind. Whereas the soccer thing, there were like potentially hundreds of teams that were not. So,
Yeah.
so the schools could, there's a level of discipline and organization there that would help us.
And that's what I'm thinking, school teams, summer tournament.
Yeah.
It's like high school basketball teams have summer camps and summer tournaments and things of that nature. And I don't know if we could pull it off.
Is there not a limitation, a set time that a coach cannot engage his players for high school? And I think it's over the summer.
Yes and no. When I coached, I was able to take my teams to camps and work with them there. And because they have individual camps and team camps.
Okay,
And this was 30 years ago.
okay.
So I know it can be done.
It didn't count as hands-on time.
But Bob?
You have a very high-ranking official with the lacrosse on a national level, Lisa Clark. You know Kevin Clark's wife? She's always on
Kevin
ESPN.
Clark, the doctor?
Yes. His wife is very high-ranking.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. She's the
We
one
go
that's
to
on
church together. I didn't
ESPN
know
running
that.
up and down the field all the time. Yeah.
How about that?
They pay her to go to Penn State and call the game
That's,
so if you
that's
need
another
to,
one to talk to.
yeah, in fact, Lisa may say, why don't you invite the colleges
Yeah,
and take it a step up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's fine. That's why I want to talk to, Greg Paradine is the coach here. And he just built this program up, and there's a men's program and a women's program here. And they're successful. Hickory High's team, the girls' team, won the conference championship. St. Stephen's boys' team, I think, won the conference championship. So it's growing. And I'm kind of partial because my granddaughter played on the first Hickory High team, the first 2 years they had a team.
There may be also, if it's parity with soccer, there may be like an intramural team. I know that colleges, many of the colleges
Club teams.
have club teams
Clubs,
yeah.
that didn't make the squad, but they're the.
But the idea of
tournament.
age bracket tournaments kind of thing, games, whatever, we probably would not have as many teams as the soccer tournament drew, but it's a beginning, it's something to consider because it's never been done in this area. And
How do you make money out of it? Is it from people paying to get in and watch, or just the fees to take part, or?
Nobody.
I don't know how,
I'm familiar with soccer.
I don't know how that tournament was run and how they raised money, I don't know.
The team pays.
Team pays to be
The
in.
team pays to be in the tournament.
Right, but that soccer tournament had, I don't know how many teams it had, but it was a lot.
210 teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting to do
If we're talking
across
about doing it with, say, 16 teams or something, it would be a service to the community, but would we actually make any money out of it?
Don't know. And I just don't know all the particulars yet. I just want to start at step one. Step one is finding out, do you want me to pursue it? And step two would be talking with the coach here and getting thoughts. And
Would LR be in line, or would they be interested to help sponsor this?
that's very possible. That's what I'm
That
trying
would,
to get
that
at.
would give credence to what you're doing.
Because, and you've got right in the area, you have LR's field right here, Hickory High's 3 blocks away, St. Stephen's not that far away. So you could have a tournament, a weekend thing.
Within walking distance.
You got the Pepsi field out exit 121 off of 40.
Mhm.
They have 8 fields out there, and you could possibly.
Yeah.
That's how you could.
But again, we're starting from scratch, and it may be a year away. But I've already reached out to him, and we'll see if he and I can sit down and talk, and if anybody wants to join me, I'll let you know when he and I meet. Any different question?
Back to the pregnant first question, is anybody diametrically opposed to it?
I personally think that on the front end, if we become associated with lacrosse, I think that's a good idea.
All right, we'll keep that discussion going. If any other ideas jump into your minds, I know we have Wayne's World as one of our biggest fundraisers, but we need something more than just fines.
Excuse me, Rick, that Motown Review, is that the band, the Motown Review?
Those words came from our retreat, and I think that's what it was called initially. In emails between Steve and me, he sent me something that he thought was Motown Review. It's comparable, but it's a group called The Legacy. And if you've been to La Dance, this group has been to La Dance every year. And what Legacy is, it's a regular, there's a band that plays at La Dance, which is a monthly get-together. A lot of folks, Ron and I are in the group, and Bob's attended a few times. They have live bands, and this live band has been with La Dance since it started 35 years ago. But the guy who runs the band has hooked up with 4 guys, and they do a Motown Review. They don't call it Motown Review. They call themselves The Legacy. But it's all the Four Tops, Temptations, all that music, and they're awesome. The band will play for a while, then they'll bring on Legacy, and then they just knock the top off.
So they're a retro sound.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they sound they're really, really good. Each one can sing as an individual, but they also harmonize very well. They have the dance steps down from the 60s and 70s. So.
Where are they from?
2 are from Greensboro. 1 was from Newton, but that's when they had some younger guys, but they're from different areas, but they're all from North Carolina. And it's something I can pursue and get more information about if you're interested. I mean, I don't mind checking on these things to see what's the feasibility. Your question is valid about will we get a profit from something? How much could we think about getting? You guys talk about the labor-intensive aspect of a fundraiser. The last thing we want to do is burn our folks out. We don't want to do that.
Legacy could interface with Bob's idea of a summer music event.
And
there is, the Motown Review's coming to Mount Holly in 3 weeks.
Okay.
So.
And it's called Motown Review.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wonder if it's the same group. Of course, I'll see them, obviously, but that's why I asked.
Okay.
Might be able to incorporate it in if we do decide to do the music.
Yeah, let me know when you go. I'm tagging along if you don't mind.
I might know some bands down in Charlotte as well that are, reasonably good but not terribly expensive because
Sure.
they're not huge names. So.
And the reason they do these on Thursday and Friday nights is because they get to buy on the bands.
Yeah.
They don't ever do a Saturday night. That's the Monday night. Lincoln did Thursday night, Mount Holly did Friday night.
I like to attend it and just see how they do it.
Every Friday night. Blackwater plays Friday night.
Who sponsors it?
Johnny B runs it.
Yeah.
And the town sponsors it through their business leaders.
Okay.
They all put up $1,500, $2,000 for the summer, get to put their banners up, and
So who gets the money? Who gets the business folks? Or
well, they prosper from the people that are walking through their stores. But I would think that the city just does it to open up for exposure. Yeah.
So Johnny B keeps the money.
No, he gets a percentage of it, but he doesn't keep it all. No. But I like it because he runs it.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
and that takes some of the labor off our shoulders.
When you say he runs it, does he secure the bands and everything as well?
He does.
And he brings his own sound equipment.
He does. Well, each band brings their own sound equipment. But they started now, for all that are interested, it's called Riptide, R-I-P-T-I-D-E, Riptide Radio. And Johnny B runs it live for 4 hours every day. And it goes from either his basement in Lincoln, it's internet-based radio, in the basement in Lincoln, or then it switches to North Myrtle Beach. So you get 24/7, by the way.
And he's played at some of our dances and done an outstanding job.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He's good.
I think we've got 2 good ideas here.
Okay, and we don't need more than that. Because what we're always doing is looking for ways to enhance our budget, because when we do that, then we can do more for the community, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we're still looking for a signature event.
Yeah, and you're right. That's why the summer series, along with a lacrosse tournament, could be just that.
Yeah.
But we're still in preliminary stages, so we'll keep talking about that.
That's a year out at best, so
Sir?
it's a year out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likely.
You come down to the close.
Anybody have any other questions or issues or concerns right now? Next week, a formal club assembly. We'll have some things to discuss. I do want to talk about service projects. What kinds of things can we get involved in? Now, keep in mind, we're already involved in a lot. We don't think about it. We've lost, in essence, the Little Samaritan mission because of their changes. And so we might want to look at something else to do. But when we have bulletins, on the inside on page 3 of the bulletin, it lists a number of things in which we are involved. Rise Against Hunger, for example. The Veteran Stand Down. A number of things.
Winter warmth.
And winter warmth, exactly right. Yesterday, I was a speaker at the Mount Airy Rotary Club and talked about the Veterans Helping Veterans and the Veteran Stand Down as a way for their club to consider things they could do for veterans in Surrey County. And I mentioned our club's involvement doing the lunch, and some people, especially Phil and others, actually volunteer on the floor as well as working at lunch. So I'm very grateful for that support, Phil, and for everything that other folks here do. And the Mount Airy Club is good, but we're better. It's good. And the guy who introduced me was a former student of mine. 40 years ago, I taught him in English, and he's now an assistant district governor for that area. Anything else for the good of the congregation? Yes, sir. Wait, Wayne's got something here.
Trips.
Go ahead.
I was gonna just do our future trips calendar,
Okay.
unless you wanted to do it.
Anyway, I have down June the 19th.
That's for clean
Clinksport,
sport.
everybody, yeah.
And we'll talk about that next week, and then we're gonna meet at clean sport at a certain time, yeah.
And if we do visit, I think we need to have a show of our club. Not just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
handful, but our club to
We
visit.
really need to,
June the 19th, Clinksport, is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
And then August at Gracia.
Yeah, July we're off, and then, that's right, behind, Gracia is behind Klingsport. They pride themselves in saying they make the world's thinnest blades made out of German steel, so we'll see. Yeah.
Ryan,
I was just gonna say, on social media last night, the city of Hickory, said under matters not on the agenda, city council approved potential placement of a mural design contingent upon approval by council and the commemoration committee to commemorate the miracle of Hickory at the historic site of the polio hospital.
okay,
So they're gonna put it out on the hill.
yeah,
Nobody will see it.
thank you.
I don't understand that. Why? That-
I wonder what kind of building they're gonna put it on if it's out there.
There's a building there already with a wall. They've seen it, they know where they want to do it. They want to make the site of the Miracle of Hickory Hospital a destination along the river walk. Nothing wrong with that,
No,
but also a lot of people may never see it.
Correct.
And if it had been downtown, now they've approved it for that site because they own that site. There's nothing stopping the polio commemorative committee and the council and the arts council to putting it on another building downtown that the city does not own. And there are some murals, and I know some folks are looking for the possibility, because if something downtown is pretty good, I think. It'll get more exposure. This is a major event for this city and this county about which most people don't even know. and they have to do some serious publicizing for it to get people to go out to the site, which is fine. I mean, I'd like to see people get out there, but anyway.
It is the western end of their river blocks.
Yeah. Any other?
We're gonna need Warren Wood, though, to keep the city's regulations from blocking our
Design thing.
access.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll be meeting with Warren too, to talk about the obelisk that's out there, to get our name on that. Good.
Anything we should be doing for Jim?
That's a great question.
We
We should.
We ought to show up in
And
force for the memorial.
if you can get to the Hickory Funeral Home tomorrow between 6 and 8 at night, and the church, Christ Lutheran, Friday morning, if you're able to do that. But we also need, what about a thing of flowers at the church and Rotary Club?
Don't even think you need to ask. Yeah.
Has there been any request for in lieu of flowers, dot, dot, dot?
Not
There
yet,
has been a memorial Alzheimer's.
yeah.
It's in the Hickory paper this morning.
Okay, I didn't read the paper yet. Okay, that we might do.
Yeah, I would rather we do
Yeah,
that rather than
yeah.
flowers.
I think Jim would
You
appreciate
know
that.
what you might do is offer a donation to the Cart Foundation in Lee's name.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Jim would appreciate anything like that. Well, we'll talk to him too. Yes, we'll do something as a club. Thanks, Gavin, for bringing that up.
Thank you very much.
Anything you want to add, Mr. President?
Well, I wanted to know if we should take up a personal donation for Jim right now.
I would say no.
You say no? No. Okay. And they go to church again or something.
Would you let us know?
But we will find out from Jim what he needs.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the things we think,
Think,
say,
say,
or
or
do.
do. Is the truth. Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Lots of pleasure.
My pleasure.